This is the first ever voiceover I'm ever gonna do, and I'm never gonna do this again. But before you watch the video, please read over this. Also, a few other things to note before I start this video. I am just making this video for anybody who wants to know how to do the stuff that I do. I'm not really asking anybody to use it. I wanted to make this video for anybody who just wants to know how I do my characters. So anyway, enjoy the video, and if you ever use the advice that I'm giving today, please just credit me, because these are stuff that I do for my Gacha club. If you like Gacha Club, Shameless, or basically any type of gacha media that involves television shows, well, I am here to give basically a tutorial of how I do my Gacha Club characters. But I'm basically just giving a tutorial on how I do my Shameless Gacha characters and basically how I do the body types and stuff. There isn't really much to this video besides how I make the body types and how I've made like most of my Shameless characters. So what you need for everything that I'm going to show you in this video is a Gacha Club, CapCut, and that's basically it, because I'm only teaching how to do my Shameless characters, the body types, and how I edit my videos. As I've said, I'm pretty sure there isn't much to this video besides how I do all this stuff. I just wanted to make a quick little video before I post the trailer for Life is Unfair episode 3. So without any more waiting, let's just get into the video, and we're gonna start off with how I do the body types, because that's very important before you start making your characters. So I use 3 different body types, and I use them for almost all my characters. So these are the 3 body types that I use. I usually use the first one for Fiona, Veronica, and I don't think I really use the second one. I think I use it with Debbie, and the last one I use for the rest of my characters. I do have other body types that I use, but those are my 3 main ones. There is another one that I use a lot, but I don't really use it as much as the other ones. So this is how you do the body types. So when you first open the app, you basically get the base that you want. I already have my bases done, so what I'm going to do is grab a preset. Once you get the preset you want, click body. I completely forgot to do this. You need to get the height how you want it to first before you do anything, which I accidentally forgot to do. And you want to get your head to 11. It's very crucial that you use 11, or you won't really get it how you want your head to look. You need to use 11. Like, basically you have to use 11. So once you've done that, you really just want to mess around with the scale until you get it how the first one looks. You're basically doing that with every single one of the body types, but you have to do a certain head scale, and you can basically do the height however you want. After you've messed around with it for a while, it should look like how those images look. And if you don't want to use those certain body types, you don't have to use them. You can mess around with them until you get the certain one that you want. It should look something like this when you're done messing around with the settings. Then afterwards, you're pretty much done with the body types. You don't have to mess around with them anymore. And then that's when you're able to start working on your characters. Okay, this next part is basically how I do my Shameless characters. If you're not doing Shameless Gacha videos, just skip this part. I'll have a timestamp up here, so that's when the video editing starts, but this next part is basically for Shameless Gacha creators. So the first one I'm going to basically explain is Mickey, because I'm pretty sure that was the one that I had the hardest time with because of his hair having to be a certain way, and sometimes I still edit his hair because it never looks perfect for me. You can basically kind of see that with almost every video. Just going off from experience, I'd say his was probably the most difficult because it was very hard. I could not get it right when I first started making his design. I will put up one of his old designs right here. I had so much trouble with it. I could never get it right. And when I finally got it to a way that I wanted it to look, I still didn't like it, and I still edit it because his hair kind of just doesn't go the way that I want it to look. So this tutorial will go with how I did his hair, how I did his eyes, and I'm not gonna go in depth with clothes because the way that I use his clothes is not how he always has his clothes. So his clothes are basically up to you. Do the clothes how you want it. I'm just going off of hair, his eyes, and I will show how I do his glasses as well. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I do Mickey. So basically how I did Mickey was, this was how I did his skin tone. You don't have to do it how I do it, but this is how I do his skin tone most of the time because it's not supposed to be a very dark skin tone. It's supposed to be very light. It's basically a representation of basically how he grew up. So this was the hard part for me. I had a lot of trouble with his hair. And I basically ended up just doing it like this. I did the colors like this. So then the back hair, which is the rear hair, I did this one. I'm still not very great with what numbers are. 195. That was the number I did for the back hair. And the front hair, I did this one, which is 334. And this was basically, these are the numbers that I did. I'm not gonna, obviously I don't have to have them exactly like this, but this is how I have them. And it's very hard to talk while I'm basically showing you how I did it. So I'm gonna turn off this language and I'll put it to English so you're able to read where I'm going and stuff. Because I always have it on that one because it's easier for me to read. Now we're gonna do the eyes. So I don't really know how to explain this. I usually use this one for his past design because that's how it always was. And for the regular design, I just use these ones because it's much more easier for me. But for the sake of this, I'm just going to do how I usually have them. And from stuff that I've read, people usually describe them as very, very light, but I don't really do a lot of light colors. It is very hard for me to do. I always use these eyebrows. I'll show the stuff for this because I always have them like this. And this is the mouth settings, and these are the colors I use for the mouth. Sometimes I do that, but that's okay. This is the settings for the eyes, but it's not going to be the same with the other eye. So this is you want to go to right eye and do it like this. Like, you have to do it like this. Because if you want your eyes to not really, look like this, you'll want to do that. Because then it'll look like this. And the pupils, you can make the pupils however you want. Like, that doesn't really matter. That's basically how you do his, like, hair and stuff. But glasses, really easy. Just do that. You don't have to do glasses if you want to. I do glasses because I'm pretty sure Noel has glasses. I'm not certain for that, but I always do like a different scale for glasses. This is optional. You can do this if you want to. I personally do it with his design all the time because it's very simple. And that's how you basically do that, but his height is like this. It's 7. And I don't think I even edited like the body type afterwards. It looks very different because, as I said before, this was how he was made after I edited everything. Like, I think I did Ian first, then I did him, and like there's some stuff that's definitely inaccurate because, this is a new thing for me. I've never really done a tutorial like this. That's how I did his, but also, again, his body type is a little bit different. He isn't like extremely skinny like the bases that I have. That's one of the body types I didn't show how to do. And that's how I did Mickey. There are some other things that I forgot to note, which is one, that I really do his body type different than all my other characters. He is one of the many characters that I have that's body types are extremely different. The reason I do it like that is because I'll get more in depth with it in Life is Unfair, but it's basically explaining how he overcame a bunch of other stuff that happened. As I've said before, this is not like Shameless, like at all. It's a completely different storyline and different stuff. So that's basically how I did him. Okay, I'm going to be showing you how to do Ian next. And personally for me, Ian was a lot more easier for me because his appearance was very simple from the images that I used. Okay, so first of all, if you hear people yelling outside, I literally just realized this now. My sister is in her room yelling at the top of her lungs, and I don't know if she's gonna leave the room or not and slam her door. She does it all the time. So let's just get into this. So for Ian, it's a lot more different. I use light skin tones all the time, so I'm just going to show you how I did the skin tone for him right here. I'm going to do that really quick. And I always do it wrong because you have to do it like that. Okay, so firstly you do the hair color. I do this sometimes because his hair color honestly was hell. Yeah, that's right. Sometimes I have to look at my old one just to show you what the hair color looks like. You do this one. You do 194 for the rear hair. And you do where is it? I don't do a lot of editing. Okay, here you go. 148. That is the number for the front hair. And you basically just edit it to your liking. Again, you don't have to do it how I do it. And there. I add this to his hair because it makes it look a lot better in my opinion. And that's how you do his hair. Before I do the eyes, I'm going to do the freckles because I like to do his freckles. They're very cute. I like freckles on most of my characters because I just personally really like freckles. Okay, eyes. These are the eyes you're going to use the entire time for him. I did it for his original design and his past design. Because, again, it was very, very much easier just to do the same eyes for him. Okay, so the eye color, you don't have to use the exact shade of green I'm using. You can basically do whatever shade of green you want. I personally just use this shade of green. And as I said before, pupils however you want. You want to use these eyebrows. I don't think it really matters how you have the eyebrows. I just do the same eyebrows the entire time. And I think that's basically it for Ian. As I said, his character was a lot more easier for me. And I'm gonna say this as well. Eye settings are a lot different because these were made before I did any of my other designs, so completely different. Okay, just to make sure this video isn't extremely long, I'm not going to go in depth with my other characters because those are actually very simple. Last part of this video is how I edit my videos because that's actually a lot harder than just making gacha characters. As I've said before, I use CapCut to edit my videos. And you don't have to use CapCut exactly, but this is just how I edit my videos. Okay, so I'm not really gonna go into a lot of crazy stuff with editing my videos. I usually do this. Sorry, my CapCut fucking sucks. If you're trying to edit a gacha video, I'm gonna show one of my old ones. Sorry, I had to go on really quick. But my steps for editing edits gacha video-ish, when you need certain scenes, is actually very, very easy. If you're trying to do a green screen type of video, you want to get it into a green screen and basically just get the audio that you need, split it together, get several clips, and then put the background that you want, and then just edit it. Regular videos, long form content videos, takes up a lot of my space on my phone and my editing softwares. So what I usually do is when I need to do like very, very long form videos that like take up like half my space, I split them into sections. I unfortunately have deleted most of my projects on my CapCut account when I lose a lot of my storage space. So the process for editing Life is Unfair episode 2 is completely gone. Like, it is not on here anymore. Just gone. It's not on here, unfortunately. But that's basically just the steps to editing very long form videos with CapCut. I did think I did like a tutorial on how to use KineMaster. That honestly has not been my editing software since 2021, and it's also still very hard to maneuver. Probably the exact same amount of time that you used for CapCut videos. And that's basically it. There's not really much to editing a video besides getting your clips how you want them. So my recorder stopped on me, told me I had insignificant fucking storage space. But as I was saying, like, when you're doing like videos like these that take up a lot of space, sometimes you have to literally take the clip and make it longer than you would usually make it. And that's basically what I did. That's basically how I edit my videos. There's not really much to it. I think that's everything I wanted to cover in this video today. There isn't a lot that I do for like editing and a bunch of other shit. If there's anything else you would really like me to cover on how I do my content and all my other stuff, leave a comment on this video and I will post a tutorial on how I do most of my other things. There is certain stuff I will not ever cover, which is how I do my drawings, my art style. I just don't feel comfortable with sharing that information.